contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. This may come as a surprise to some of you. This June, I will be celebrating my 40th birthday. You heard correct, the big 4-0. And to top this year off, this November, my amazing Wonder Woman of a wife and I will be celebrating our 20th anniversary. That means that this November, I will have been married for half of my life. For those of you who do not think that half is a lot, think about it this way. If for some strange reason I ever desire to no longer be married to that amazing Wonder Woman of a wife, that's exactly how much she gets. Half. As you could imagine, I have been, shall we say, adequately motivated to learn what I would like to share with you today. How to superpower your marriage. Most of you are familiar with the comic book character Superman, correct? Great. A couple of questions for you then. Question 1. What was the source of Superman's power? Correct, the sun. Superman needs the sun. And that is the first superpower. The ability to identify your needs and meet them. My wife, she needs food, water, clothing, shelter, and oxygen. And on top of that, she also needs love, affection, and an overall sense of security. I, on the other hand, am a typical male. Outside of food, water, clothing, shelter, and oxygen, we pretty much only need one more little thing. The mental stimulation of an invigorating conversation, of course, because what else could a man ever need? Question number 2. What was Superman's greatest weakness? Kryptonite. I could see why you would say that, which is a polite way of saying that is totally incorrect. It would appear that we need to work on our second superpower, the ability to identify your weaknesses and safeguard against them. Superman's greatest weakness was Lois Lane. She had the ability to make him weaker than kryptonite ever could. For my wife and I, we are each other's greatest weakness. And so, there are some things that I just cannot do. 1, I cannot come home drunk. 2, I cannot come home high. And 3, I cannot engage in domestic violence of any sort, which works for me because 1, I don't drink all that often. 2, I don't smoke at all. And 3, my parents raised me to respect women at all times. For me, I only need my wife to not do one thing. I need her to not cheat on me. That right there is my kryptonite. Anything outside of that, I believe we can work through. The amazing thing is this. If I use my first superpower, identify her needs and make sure that they are met, it will help to safeguard me from my greatest weakness, a wife who cheats. I consider that a win-win. Superpower number 3, the ability to expect change and adapt to it. Superman wasn't always faster than a speeding bullet, stronger than a locomotive, and able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. He changed over time and adapted to it. You and your partner will change over time. And your ability to expect change will help you to adapt to it. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus once said that change is the only constant in life. That being true, we should not be surprised when people change. We should be surprised when they don't. There may be one of you out there who's thinking to themselves, what if I'm not like Superman? What if I'm more like Aquaman? And right now, my marriage is in the middle of a desert. Know this, that there is water even in the middle of a desert. You just have to dig deep, and maybe really deep. Know that it is in there. Your superpower is in there. You just have to dig deep. And if you're willing to do that, I believe that you will find that you have the superpower to identify your needs and meet them. You will find that you have the superpower to identify your weaknesses and safeguard against them. You will find that you have the superpower to expect change and adapt to it. And if you use those three, I believe that you will find out just how superpowered your marriage can be. Contest chair.